Okay, good morning. So we are now on our fourth topic and physical education and health entitled Physical Activity Participation Target Games. Games that require players to place objects in or close to targets in order to score as high as possible are known as target games. A target game can be played indoor or outdoors. In an unopposed game, the opponent aims only to hit the target, while in an opposed game, offensive or defensive tactics are used. So ano ba si target games? Si target games, isa siyang laro kung saan yung mga players, yung mga manlalaro, is trying to place or to hit an object uh, on or malapit doon sa mismong target. So, ang goal lang naman ito is makascore ka as many as possible. Ano? Para maging closest doon sa target score mo. Then, si target games, maaari po itong laruin indoor and outdoors. And nabanggit din dyan na we have two types of target games. So, si unopposed and si opposed game. So, palalimin natin yan sa mga susunod na slides. So, let's have target games. So, target games. Target games, the item dart, ball, etc. must be launched at a designated target area. Preventing the opponent's item from scoring might also involve guarding it, avoiding obstructions, or blocking its route. Target games use a variety of manipulating abilities including rolling, catching, leaping, hopping, and stretching in addition to throwing and tossing. So, ano nga ba si target games? So, si target games, siya yung laro kung saan ang mga players ay bumabato, nag-roll, sumisipa, or nag-hit ng object papunta or patungo or toward doon sa target. So, ang goal lang naman sa target game is to get the object on or as close to the target as possible para makascore ka ng points. So, sa ibang target games, si players ay maaring mag-guard or mag-block doon sa target to stop their opponent from scoring. So, syempre, ang kailangan ng player sa target games, kailangan niya ng accuracy, ng control, and good aim to be successful. So, ano-ano ba yung mga skills na ginagamit pagdating sa target games? So, syempre, una ay si throwing. Sunod, maaaring tossing, catching, jumping, hopping, and stretching. Ano yun yung usually kadalasan na ginagamit sa target games? Skills na ginagamit sa target games. Okay, ano ba ang important reminder sa atin ni target games? So, sa target games, you should focus on accuracy, no? Hindi puro power lang, not just power. Siyempre, dapat focus ka rin sa accuracy. And also, think carefully bago ka gumawa ng isang move. So, example ng mga target games ay bowling, darts, curling, archery, and horseshoe. Target game categories. So, first, we have individual target games. So, individual target games are competitive activities that require strategy, accuracy, and occasionally physical dexterity or mental focus. Players employ the skills and tactics to hit specified target or achieve goals. So, sa game categories ni target games, meron tayong dalawa. So, una is individual target games. So, sa individual target games ay nilalaro ng ilang player. So, syempre, nilalaro lamang ng one player ng isang player kasi individual nga ni. So, syempre, nire-require ng individual target games yung accuracy, yung focus, and yung strategy. So, ang goal lang naman dito is to hit the target o kaya naman ay makascore ka ng highest points. So, syempre, dito sa individual target games, si player ay nagre-rely lamang kanino? Sa kanyang sariling skills and decision. So, siya lang, no, sarili lang niya ang kanyang maaasahan kasi individual nga ni. So, anong example ng mga individual target games? So, una, syempre, pwedeng ipasok si archery, pwede rin si darts, or pwede rin naman si bowling. Okay, next. Next, we have team target games. So, team target games emphasize collaboration, communication, and individual responsibilities while putting teams together to coordinate tactics and skills in order to strike targets or accomplish goals. So, ano naman si team target games? Ilang player ang lumalaro kay team target games? Siyempre, 2 or more players. So, hindi naman pwedeng isa kasi team nga, no? Kailangan dalawa o higit pang mga manlalaro na nag-work together doon sa isang team. So, syempre, nire-require ni team target games, una, ang teamwork, ang communication, and ang cooperation sa inyong team. So, yung mga team members, you should plan your strategies, no? Kung paano nyo i-hit yung targets or kung paano kayo makakascore ng points. So, syempre, yung every player dito sa team target games ay may kanya-kanyang importanteng role. So, hindi lang kayo palamuti, no? Hindi lang kayo design sa inyong team. So, syempre, ang bawat isa, ang role nyo ay tulungan ang inyong team na manalo. So, anong example ng mga team target games? So, pwedeng curling, or pwede rin lawn bowls. So, ano bang pinagkaiba ni individual target games tsaka ni team target games? So, syempre, sa individual target games, yung success po dito ay nakadepende sa isang player lamang. Ano? Sa skill ng isang player. Or halimbawa, sa individual target games, nakadepende lamang sa'yo. Sa'yo, no? Sa sarili mo lamang. Kasi individual nga, mag-isa ka lang. So, si team target games naman, yung success niya ay depende sa inyong teamwork and sa inyong coordination. So, nakarely ito hindi lamang sa iyong sarili, pati na rin sa iyong teammates. Kaya nga, importante na meron tayong communication, magandang communication with our teammates, coordination, and also teamwork para mas makapagplano kayo ng mas magandang strategies. Okay, so let's move on sa example ng target games. So una, we have a baseball. So a bat and ball game played between two teams where players hit a pitch ball and run bases to score. So ano ba si baseball? Si baseball, siya ay isang team sports na nilalaro between two teams. Sa pagitan ng dalawang koponan. Two teams. So sila yung magkalaban. So yung mga players ay gumagamit ng bat para matamaan or ma-hit yung pitch ball na ibinato, no? So after niyang matamaan si bola, si players ay tatakbo around doon sa mga bases para makascore ng point. Okay, syempre, sa baseball, it requires accuracy, it requires timing, and also teamwork. Okay, next we have Bati Cobra, a traditional Filipino game where a player hit a small stick cobra with a larger one bati and tries to make it fly as far as possible. So, si number 2, yung second example is Bati Cobra. So, sa amin, nung bata kami, ang tawag namin dito, shatot, no? So, hindi ko sure kung anong tawag sa lugar nyo. Pero si Bati Cobra ay isang traditional Filipino game kung saan ang mga players ay gumagamit ng malaking stick. So, ang tawag daw po doon sa malaking stick ay bati para ma-hit or matamaan yung small stick na ang tawag ay cobra. So, ang goal lang naman is to make the stick fly as far as possible, di ba? Pinapalo natin siya, pinapatamaan natin siya ng para lumayo yung maliit na stick, no, as far as possible. So, nire-require lang naman ni Bati Cobra is coordination, good aim, and also dapat mabilis yung iyong reflexes. Okay, next example is billiards, a cue sport where players use a stick or cue to hit balls into pockets on a felt-covered table. So, ano si billiard? So, sabi dyan, si billiard ay laro kung saan nilalaro sa felt-covered table. So, yun daw po yung tawag sa table na yun. Then, si player or yung mga players ay gumagamit ng cue stick para matamaan or para i-hit yung ball. So, yun yung hawak nila na kahoy. Hindi ko sure kung kahoy, pero alam ko kahoy yun eh. Yung pinangsasargo nila doon sa bola. Okay, so ano ang goal nila sa billiard? So, ang goal lang naman is to pocket the balls by aiming carefully, no? So, di ba gano'n naman yung mga naglalaro ng billiards, is sinushoot nila yung balls doon sa pocket, doon sa bulsa noong felt-covered table. So, syempre, sa billiard, andyan pa rin si accuracy, yung control, and also your concentration. Okay, next is bowling. So, a game in which a heavy ball is rolled down a lane to knock down 10 pins arranged in a triangle. Okay, si bowling naman, yung players ay pinapagulong niya, roll niya yung heavy ball doon sa lane. So, ang goal lang naman ng mga players dito sa bowling is to knock down lahat ng pins. So, ilang pins ang meron sa bowling? So, meron pong 10. May 10 pins. So, ang goal nila is to knock down all 10 pins. Okay? So, yung player na may pinakamataas na score, syempre, siya yung panalo. So, sa bowling, ang nire-require lang naman ni bowling, dapat good aim, balance, and syempre, yung mga proper technique. Okay, next we have Kalahayok o Holin. Okay, a native Filipino game where players aim to throw objects, often stones or seeds, into a hole from a set distance. Okay, si Kalahayo or si Holin, so isa siyang traditional Filipino game. So si player or yung mga players ay binabato or nagtathrow sila ng small objects tulad ng stones or ng seeds. Pero sa atin kasi ang tawag talaga Holin. So tinathrow natin yun doon sa hole from a distance. So ang goal lang naman natin is makuha yung object or yung ibang Holin doon sa loob ng hole. No, di ba? Pag naglalaro tayo ng Holin, meron lang tayong bilog, then inuubos natin lahat ng laman nun. Syempre, kung sino yung madaming napalabas, kung sino yung madaming natira, so syempre siya yung panalo, kanya yung kaya na Holin. Okay, so syempre sa Holin, kailangan natin ng accuracy also, ng focus, and ng control. Okay, next we have football or soccer. So a team sports where players aim to kick a ball into the opposing team goals to score a point. So si football, isa siyang team sports na nilalaro ng dalawang koponan also, tulad noong sa kaninang example natin, no? So dalawang koponan between two teams. Okay? So, paano siya nilalaro? Yung mga players ay sinisipa yung bola papunta doon sa opponent's goal. So, si team ay nakakascore siya by getting the ball into the goal, no? So, syempre, dito sa football or sa soccer, nire-require natin yung teamwork, yung passing, yung kicking, and also the good aim. Okay, next we have Frisbee Ultimate, a non-contact team game where players pass a flying disc or frisbee to teammates to reach the opponent's end zone. So si Ultimate Frisbee, siya ay non-contact non-contact team sport. So si player ipinapasa niya yung flying disc doon sa kanyang teammates. Si flying disc yun yung tinatawag na frisbee. So ang goal nila is to catch the frisbee in the opponent's end zone para sila ay maka-score. So syempre sa frisbee, lagit-lagi it requires accurate passing, teamwork, and also communication. Then next, we have golf. So, a sports where players hit a small ball into a series of holes on a course using equal clubs in a few strokes as possible. So, sa golf, si player ay gumagamit ng golf club to hit a small ball. So, ang goal lang naman nila is ma-shoot to get the ball into the hole in a few strokes possible. So, yun lang may goal nila, ma-shoot si bola doon sa may butas, doon sa may hole. Syempre, it requires accuracy, it requires control, patience, and concentration. Next, we have Palo Sebo, a Filipino game where participants climb a greased bamboo pole to reach a prize at the top. So, si Palo Sebo po ay traditional Filipino game kung saan si player o yung mga players ay inaakyat yung greased na bamboo pole, no? So, lahat ng pwede niyang ikadulas, inilalagay, no? Ipinapahid doon sa mismong pole. Mantika, margarine, langis, basta lahat ng pwedeng makatulong na makapagpadulas doon sa pole na inaakyat nila. So, ano po ba ang goal kay Palo Sebo? Simple lang naman ang goal, to reach the prize at the top. So, di ba, nandoon sa dulo si flag kung saan yun ang pinag-uuna-unahan nilang kunin. So, syempre, kung sino yung nakakuha ng flag, siya yung panalo. So, syempre, sa Palo Sebo, it requires strength, it requires balance, determination, and also teamwork, no? Literal, na sa Palo Sebo, hindi ka aangat kung wala kang tatapakang tao. Okay, next we have shooting range, a controlled environment where participants use firearms or air guns with stationary targets for accuracy. So, sa shooting range naman, si player ay ini-aim niya yung yung stationary target. Okay? So, ang goal niya ay ma-hit yung center ng target as accurately as possible. 'Di ba? Sa shooting range dapat ma-hit mo yung pinaka-gitna, yung pinaka-center ng iyong target. Okay? Syempre, kay shooting range, it requires accuracy, it requires focus, control, syempre, hindi dapat yung mawawala, no? And also the concentration. Okay, next. So, we have sipa or kick game. So, a traditional Filipino game where players use their feet to keep a washer-like object or sipa in the air. So, si sipa or si kick game ay traditional Filipino game kung saan yung mga players ay gumagamit ng syempre, ng paa. Hindi naman natin pwedeng ipang sipa ang ating kamay. So, syempre, ang ginagamit natin ay paa. Bakit po? So, sinisipa natin yung washer-like object or yung tinatawag nating sipa into sa air. So, ang goal lang naman ay mapanatiling si sipa ay hindi natatouch yung ground or hindi nalalaglag sa lupa. Kasi syempre, once na nalaglag na, nag-stop na siya or natouch na si ground, hindi natin nasipa, ay mag-stop na yung counting. So, sa sipa, nire-require niya yung balance, yung coordination, and yung foot control. Next, we have Shato, a Filipino street game where a small stick is hit with a longer stick to launch into the air and far from the base. So, si Shato, isa din siyang traditional Filipino game kung saan si player ay gumagamit ng mahabang stick para ipang hit doon sa small stick. So, parang magkamukha sila ni Bati Cobra, no? So, ang goal lang naman sa Shato is to hit the small stick as far as possible, di ba? Same sila ng description ng goal ni Bati Cobra. Okay, so sa Shato, it requires good aim, timing, and also coordination. And last example for our target games. Okay, we have Tumbang Preso, a Filipino game where players aim to knock down a can or yung preso using a sleeper where avoiding being tagged by the guard. Okay, si Tumbang Preso, isa siyang traditional Filipino game kung saan yung mga manlalaro, yung mga players ay inihahagis yung kanilang sleeper o yung kanilang sinelas para mapatumba yung can or yung tinatawag nating preso, no? So, di ba ang tawag natin doon sa lata, siya yung nagsisilbing preso. Okay? So, yung guard, pinoprotektahan niya yung lata and sinusubukan niya na itag or tayain yung ibang players. So, syempre, si guard sa atin, siya yung taya. Okay? Then, ang goal lang naman dito ng mga players, maliban doon sa guard, maliban doon sa taya, syempre ay ma-hit yung can, dapat ay mapabagsak or matumba yung preso, yung lata. And also, dapat ma-avoid nila or maiwasan nila na sila ay matag or mataya. So, yun lang naman yung goal niya. Maitumba si lata, maiwasang mataya. Okay, so let's watch this. Ito naman yung example kung paano ba nilalaro si Tumbang Preso.
Tawagin ang mga bata, maglaro sa kalsada. 2, 3, 4 o 5 ay pwedeng-pwede na.
Kumuhit ng bilog sa lupa, kumuha ng lata at ilagay ang lata sa gitna.
Mula sa bilog at latang mga anim na pagkada, kumuhit ng linya.
Ngunit teka muna, kailangang may taya. Kunin ang tsinelas at ihagis sa linya ang pinakamalayo.
Ang siyang magiging taya.
Tara na't magtubang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino. Buhayin ang larong katutubo, tuklasin ang muling ituro. Tara na't magtubang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino. Buhayin ang larong katutubo, tuklasin ang muling ituro.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino. Tara na't magtubang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino.
Okay, next we have unopposed target games. Target games. The objective of the game is to hit or to reach the target without opposition and interference from other players of obstacles. The opponent aims only to hit the target. These games are not dependent on where the opponent places their object. So ano ba si unopposed target games? Si unopposed target games, ito yung mga laro kung saan ang players ay sinusubukan na i-hit or i-reach yung kanilang target without interference from others. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila tinatry na i-block or stop. Okay? So ang goal lang nila ay to hit or to reach the target as accurately as possible. So no opponent interference, ibig sabihin yung other players, yung ibang manlalaro, hindi kanya sinusubukan na i-block, hindi kanya sinusubukan na i-stop from your actions. Okay? Okay, now, so let's have skills and principles developed from target games. First, we have hand-eye coordination, so refers to the ability to synchronize visual perception with motor control, specifically the coordination between the eyes and the hands. So, let's have skills and principles developed from target games. So, una, meron tayong hand-eye coordination. So, si hand-eye coordination, syempre nakakatulong siya sa ating eyes, sa ating hands, na mag-work together, no, na mag-function together. And it improves our accuracy and also our control when we were aiming or we were throwing. Okay, next we have focus. So focus refers to the ability to concentrate attention and direct it towards a specific task, objectives, or stimulus while filtering out distractions. So si focus, siya po ay nakakatulong sa atin to pay attention doon sa ating target. So nare-reduce niya or nababawasan niya yung ating distraction during the game. So ini-improve niya yung ating concentration and also our performance. Okay, next we have precision, ability to perform actions with accuracy, exactness, and consistency. So pag sinabi natin precision, ito yung nakakapag-perform tayo or nakakagawa tayo ng actions with consistency and with control. So tinutulungan tayo ni precision or tinutulungan niya yung mga player para magkaroon ng accurate and repeated shots. Okay, next, accuracy. So it refers to the degree of correctness or closeness to the intended target or desired outcome. So when we say accuracy, ito yung hitting or getting as close to the target as possible. So si accuracy, ini-improve niya yung success in pagdating sa target games. Okay, next ay sports strategy. So sports strategy refers to the planned approach or tactics by teams or individuals to achieve a competitive advantage to maximize their chance of winning in a sport. So pag sinabi natin sports strategy, ito ay tumutukoy sa planning, no, sa pagpaplano. So sa sports strategy, pinaplano natin yung best way, kung ano ba yung pinakamagandang gawin, pinakamagandang paraan na pwede natin gawin sa isang play or sa isang laro. So dito sa sports strategy, pinipili natin yung pinakamaganda at tamang technique o kaya naman approach na pwede natin gawin para makascore tayo ng mas madaming points. Okay, next we have technical skills. So it refers to the specific abilities and techniques required to perform the fundamental actions or movements related to a particular sports or activity. So sa technical skills, ito yung mga basic movements, yung mga techniques na ginagamit natin during the game. So si technical skills, nakakatulong siya sa atin or sa mga players to perform skills correctly and also dapat effective, no? Tinutulungan tayo ni technical skills na maging effective yung mga skills na i-perform or gagawin natin. So example, tulad na lang ng passing, ng throwing, ng catching o kaya naman ng shooting. Okay, next we have tactical skills. So, pertains to the understanding and application of strategies, plans, and decision making during a game or activity. So, si tactical skills naman, siya naman yung paggawa natin ng mga smart decisions during the game. So, ito yung mga ginagamit nating strategies para makascore or para makadepensa. Ano? So, example, yung pagpili kung kailan natin siya ipapasa, kung kailan tayo aatake, kung kailan tayo magde-defend. O kaya naman kung kanino natin ipapasa, kung kanino tayo aatake, at kung sino ang ating dedefensahan. Ano? Next is flexibility. When you have to block and defend an object, you react to an opponent's attack or hit faster, which helps you win. So si flexibility, ito naman yung tumutulong sa ating body, sa ating katawan para mas makagalaw ng mas maayos at mas mabilis. So ini-improve ni flexibility yung ating reaction pagdating sa sa blocking, sa defending. So binabawasan niya or nire-reduce niya yung risk ng ating injury, no? So ini-improve niya ni flexibility yung ating performance. Okay, next. So, tayo naman ngayon ay nasa opposed target games. So, opposed target games considers offensive or defensive tactics. Opposed target games are dependent on where the opponents place the objects. So, si opposed target games, nabanggit dyan, it involves offense, no? Pag sinabing offense, ito yung sinusubukan nyo na makascore. Kumbaga sa basketball, nasa inyo yung bola. Okay? And also, it involves defense. So, ito naman yung sinusubukan nyo na sila ay i-delay or i-stop, no? You are trying to stop your opponent, yung iyong kalaban. So, kumbaga sa basketball, nasa kalaban yung bola, then ikaw ay nakadepensa. Okay? So, syempre, sa opposed target games, kinakailangan na kayo ay gumamit ng strategy, no? And also the teamwork para kayo ay manalo. So, syempre, yung mga players, dapat nagre-react sila ng mabilis, no? Para, kaya nilang mag-adjust sa mga actions, no? Okay? Basta tandaan nyo lang, pag sinabing offense, yun yung you are trying to score points. Pag sinabing defense, prevent your opponent from scoring. Okay? So, syempre, you need to think, react, and use the best strategy. Let's move on to safety precautions in playing target games. So, una, meron tayong stretching. So, to prevent injury, you should stretch your muscles before an activity. So, pag sinabi natin stretch, sa stretching, we should stretch our muscles bago tayo maglaro, no? So, dapat nag-i-stretching tayo bago tayo maglaro. Bakit? Because it helps us to prevent or para maiwasan yung mga injuries na maaaring mangyari, no? Kasi, di ba pag hindi tayo nag-i-stretching, tapos sabak agad tayo sa laro, medyo nabibigla yung katawan natin. O halimbawa, hindi nga tayo na-injury. After naman ng play, after ng laro, napakasakit ng lahat. Pero syempre, we should always start with the stretching. Ano? Kasi it helps us to prevent injury. Tinutulungan din niya tayo para hindi mabigla yung ating body, yung ating katawan. So, piniprepare kasi ni stretching yung ating body para doon sa movement. Okay, next we have attire. So, in order to move around freely and comfortably, you must wear the appropriate clothing. So, sa proper attire naman, we should always wear comfortable clothes, no? Na hinahayaan na tayo ay makagalaw ng malaya, no? Na hindi tayo, ay, sobrang luwag ng ganito, ay, sobrang sikip ng ganito, ay, sobrang ikli, yung mga ganon. So, dapat appropriate yung ating clothes na sinusuot, no? So, syempre, gumamit ng appropriate na shoes, yung maganda yung grip, maganda yung kapit, kasi, o halimbawa, mag-basketball ka, mag-high heels ka ba? So, syempre, hindi, no? O halimbawa, ikaw ay runner, athletics ka. Sa running, ikaw ba ay magsusuot ng ng dress? So syempre hindi, no? Sa basketball. So sa basketball hindi naman tayo nakapalda. Okay? So syempre dapat nagsusuot tayo ng komportable at appropriate tugma na clothing doon sa larong lalaroin natin, no? So syempre i-avoid din natin yung pagsusuot ng mga loose accessories na maaaring makapag-cause sa atin ng accidents. And also, di ba pagka malaro tayo, may nakita ba kayo na nagbabasketball na madaming suot na bracelet? May suot na mga relo, may suot na mga necklace, hikaw. So, wala naman, no? So, mas okay kung bago tayo mag-play, maglaro, ay tanggalin lahat ng accessories na maaaring makasagabal sa atin. O kaya kasi baka mamaya matanggal siya, maapakan natin, madulas, mabagok pa tayo, no? Pag-iwas na rin yun sa mga possible accidents na pwede nating ma-encounter. Okay, next we have equipment. It is necessary to verify that these are free of wear and remain safe for usage. So, we should always check our equipments bago tayo maglaro, no? So, we always make sure na hindi broken, na hindi damaged yung ating equipment. We only use safe equipment. Kasi 'di ba, syempre maaaring maka-injury sa atin kung si equipment ay broken or maaaring hindi siya mag-function ng maayos. O 'di ba, gumagamit ba ng butas na net sa volleyball? Hindi naman. Gumagamit ba ng butas na raketa sa badminton? So, hindi din. Gumagamit ba ng butas or impis na bola sa basketball. So, syempre, no, hindi naman siya tatalbog. Kasi kung broken, kung damage yung iyong equipment, hindi din magpa-function ng maayos yung inyong equipment. So, hindi din magiging maayos. And also, we should always use the safe equipment lamang, no? Kasi para makaiwas doon sa mga possible injuries or accidents na pwede nating ma-encounter kung ang ating equipments ay damaged or broken. Okay, next we have weather. So, see whether the weather has any bearing on the event. It is best to do it inside if it is pouring. So, apply anti-ultraviolet cream to your skin. If the sun is too bright, apply insect repellent cream. Okay? So, we should also check the weather bago daw tayo maglaro. Bago natin i-start yung isang game. So, bakit? Para ma-avoid or maiwasan yung paglalaro during heavy rain or during storm. Siguro, ma-check din tayo ng weather. Kung halimbawa makulimlim, siguro pwede naman tayong mag-check ng weather, no? Baka mamaya, during the game, kalagitnaan ng game, ay, biglang bumuhos yung malakas na bagyo, no? So, kung ganun, halimbawa, nag-check kayo ng weather. Kung sa tingin nyo, aabutan kayo ng ulan, makulimlim, umaambon, o kaya naman, talagang malakas na yung ulan. So, you can play indoors, no? If the weather is bad. So, wag isapalaran yung inyong buhay para lang makapaglaro. So, syempre, kung maglalaro kayo, doon nasa safe. Okay? Nabanggit din dyan na protect yourself from the sun. So, syempre, paano natin mapoprotektahan ang ating sarili from the sun? You can apply sunscreen kung kayo ay maglalaro outside, kung talagang napakainit. O kaya naman ay uminom ng enough water, no? Para hindi ka ma-dehydrate. Para ikaw ay maging hydrated. Okay? So, and yung last, sabi dyan, use insect repellent pagka ikaw ay naglalaro, no? Kasi baka, halimbawa, naglalaro ka sa bundok, sa mapuno, o kaya naman dun sa mga imbak na tubig, madaming lamok, So, magpahid ka daw po ng mga insect repellent para doon sa mga mosquitoes o kaya mga mababags na lugar. Okay, last ay health condition. So, you need to get your doctor's approval before engaging in any rigorous exercise. So, engaging in physical activity might cause injuries more quickly than over time. So, health benefit in the event that you are ill. Okay, so dito, sinasabi lang na make sure na you are healthy, no, bago ka mag-join sa isang activity, sa isang laro. Okay, so you should ask your doctor kung ikaw ay mayroong medical condition, o kaya naman kung ikaw ay unsure if pwede kang mag-participate, you can ask your doctor, and huwag maglaro kung ikaw ay may sakit, kung ikaw ay injured. Huwag mag-take risk. So, huminto sa paglalaro if ikaw ay nakaramdam ng pain, nakakaramdam ng dizziness, o kaya naman ikaw ay nahihirapang huminga. So, you can tell your teacher, you can tell to your coach, kung ikaw ay hindi maganda yung iyong pakiramdam, nahihirapang huminga, may masakit, or feeling injured. Okay? So, tandaan lang na your health and safety always come first. No, huwag mag-take risk kung hindi talaga kaya or may ibang pakiramdam. Okay, so continuation ng discussion. So, tayo naman ay lilipat sa combative sports skills and your fitness requirements. Arnis, also known as Eskrima or Kali, is a Filipino martial art focusing on stick and weapon fighting. So, si Arnis, siya ay national martial arts ng Pilipinas. So, siya ay tinatawag rin na Eskrima or maaari ring Kali. No? So, si Arnis ay nakafocus sa stick and sa weapon fighting. So, si Arnis ay tinuturo din para, para magsilbing self-defense natin. So, syempre, kalakip ng self-defense, ang discipline at ang respect, no? So, hindi tayo nag-aaral or tinuturuan ng pag-arnis para lamang magsiga-sigaan, o kaya naman maghamon ng away, or mangbubli. So, yung mga gantong skills ay ginagamit lang natin bilang self-defense. Hindi tayo yung nag-initiate ng away, no? Hindi yung porket sanay ka mag-arnis, mayabang ka ba? Suntukan tayo. May mga ganon, no? Hindi ikaw yung nag-initiate. So, ginagamit siya bilang self-defense, no? So, syempre, sa arnis, safety is important. Kaya, laging gumamit ng proper equipments and also follow your teacher's instructions. So, si Arnis, tandaan na siya ay Filipino martial art na nakakatulong para ma-develop ang ating skills, syempre, ang ating disciplines, and also ang ating confidence while tayo ay nagpa-practice, no? While practicing safely. Okay, so, ngayon, panoorin natin yung Arnis moves, no? So, turuan kayo ng mga different strikes, no? Yung mga basic strikes, tuturo dyan isa-isa.
Basic strikes. Stationary position. Left temple. right temple, left shoulder, right shoulder, stomach thrust, left chest thrust, right chest thrust, right knee, left knee, left eye thrust, right eye thrust, head or ground, right foot forward stance, with footwork. Twelve basic blocks. Stationary position. Left temple block. Right temple block. Left shoulder block. Right shoulder block. Stomach thrust block. Left chest thrust block. Right chest thrust block. Right knee block. Left knee block. Left eye thrust block. Right eye thrust block. Rising block or umbrella block. Right foot forward stance. With footwork. Basic strikes with partner. Stationary position with partner. 12 basic strikes against 12 basic blocks. Right foot forward stance with partner. With footwork. Subscribe.
Dito tayo sa general rules for playing Arnis. Okay, so general rules for playing Arnis. So, sabayan natin siya. So, una ay safety first. Safety is a paramount. Always use proper protective gear, including helmets, gloves, and padding, especially during sparring and practice sessions. Second is respect. So, show respect to your instructors, fellow practitioners, and the art itself. So, follow the principles of respect and humility at all times. So, una, sabi dyan, safety first. So, syempre, magsuot ng mga protective gear tulad ng helmet, ng gloves, and also ng padding. And syempre, gumamit ng proper equipment, no, para makaiwas tayo sa injuries. And binanggit din dyan na you should show respect, no, so respect your teacher. So syempre, hindi lang si teacher, also your classmate and your opponents. So follow the instructions and maglaro fairly. Okay? So binanggit din dyan yung practice self-control. So do not use harness to hurt or to bully others, no. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, sabi ko kanina, ginagamit siya para maging self-defense natin in case of emergency. So, hindi natin siya gagamitin para makasakit or mambuli ng iba. So, use your skill only for learning and for self-defense. Okay? And lastly, binanggit dyan, follow the rules. So, syempre, palaging makinig at sumunod sa game and training rules. So, pag sinabing stop, so huminto na, no? So, stop immediately when the teacher says so. Okay, next, start slowly. Begin training slowly to understand the techniques and movements correctly before progressing to full speed. This helps prevent injuries and promotes a solid foundation. Next, fundamental techniques. Focus on mastering the fundamental techniques before moving on to advanced moves. This includes strikes, blocks, footwork, and basic combinations. So, sabi dyan, we should start slowly. So, syempre, pag-aralan muna natin yung mga basic moves, no? So, yun muna yung una nating pag-aralan, yung mga basics. Then, sa pagka-practice, huwag tayong magmadali. Syempre, we should practice slowly, no? Para, syempre, ma-prevent na rin or maiwasan yung mga possible na injuries. So, unahin muna, no? Unahin muna na pag-aralan yung basic. Huwag muna tayong magpakitang gilas, lalo na kung hindi naman tayo knowledgeable enough. And, syempre, we should master the basics. So, mag-focus tayo sa mga basic skills bago tayo magpakitang gilas dun sa mga advanced techniques. So, syempre, di ba, palaging unahin yung basic. Okay? So, syempre, papasok dyan yung pag-aralan nyo muna si strike, pag-aralan nyo kung paano si blocks, yung mga footworks, at saka yung mga simple combination. And syempre, makakatulong din yung pagpapractice nyo regularly. So, yung pagpapractice nyo ng paulit-ulit ng mga basic techniques, na-improve nun yung inyong skill. So, syempre, yung good practice, nakakabuo siya ng confidence and ng control sa atin. And last is, maging patient kayo, no? Be patient. So, yung pag-aaral ng Arnis, it takes time, no? Dapat consistent yung binibigay yung effort doon sa pag-aaral nun. Partner drills, practicing with a partner, as crucial in Arnis. Engage in partner drills to improve coordination, timing, and distance control. Start with basic patterns and gradually increase complexity. Next is sparring guidelines. Sparring is an essential aspect of Arnis training. Always spar with control and respect for your partner. Aim to touch, not to injure. Use appropriate protective gear and refrain from excessive force. So, sabi dyan, sa una, partner drills, you should practice or at least try to practice with the partner. So, you should work with the partner para ma-improve yung iyong coordination, ma-improve yung iyong timing. So, siguro mag-start muna kayo dun sa mga simple drills bago kayo mag-try ng mga harder ones. And also, you should spar safely. So, always spar with control and respect. No? So, i-aim nyo to practice skills, hindi yung makasakit kayo ng inyong partner. So, yun yung i-aim nyo, no? Makapag-practice kayo ng skills at hindi ang makasakit ng partner or ng iba. Okay, so, syempre, andyan din yung you should wear protective gear, no? Syempre, magsuot ng mga proper safety equipment during sparring. And, syempre, bago nyo yung isuot, kailangan ay i-check muna yung mga gear. Kasi, diba, sabi ko kanina, i-check yung mga equipments, no? Kasi, baka mamaya, yun ay damaged or broken. Diba, hindi naman nag-function ng maayos yung isang gamit kung ito ay damaged or broken. Kaya you should check, no, kung siya ba ay nasa good condition. Okay, so last ay control your movements. So, syempre, iwasan yung paggamit ng too much force. So, mag-focus kayo doon sa inyong accuracy, sa inyong control, and yung sa inyong proper technique. Okay, next, I know your range. Understanding your weapon's range is key. Arnis training often involves sparring ranges long, medium, and close quarters. Learn to adapt your techniques accordingly. Next is empty hand techniques. Arnis isn't just about weapons. It also includes empty hand techniques. Train in both armed and unarmed combat as they complement each other. So, sabi dyan, una, I know your range. So, mahalaga or importante na matutunan nyo yung proper distance pag kayo ay gumagamit ng stick or ng Arnis. Okay? So, i-adjust nyo yung inyong movement base doon sa distance nyo mula doon sa inyong partner. Okay? So, sabi din dyan, learn empty hand techniques. So, di ba si Arnis, tinuturuan niya tayo ng self-defense kahit wala tayong hawak na weapons. So, you should practice yung parehas na armed and unarmed techniques. And also, syempre, we should stay aware. Okay? So, palagi na mag-pay attention sa iyong surroundings, sa iyong kapaligiran. So, syempre, You should keep a safe distance para makapag-avoid ng or makaiwas sa mga possible accidents. And last is use proper techniques. Okay? So, siguro mag-focus muna kayo sa inyong correct form instead na doon sa strength. And syempre, palaging mag-practice para ma-improve ang inyong skills. Okay, next we have defensive techniques. So, emphasize defensive techniques as much as offensive ones. Blocking, parrying, and evading are essential for staying safe in combat. Next is flow and adaptability. Arnis is known for its fluidity, learning to flow smoothly between techniques and adapt to different situations, avoid rigid and predictable movements. Okay, so sabi dyan no, sa una defensive techniques, so you should practice your defensive skills. Okay, so mahalaga na iyong pag-aralan at matutunan kung paano ka ba dapat mag-block, mag-parry, and kung paano ka makakaiwas or umiwas doon sa mga attacks. Okay, so yung good defense, nakakatulong siya para maging safe ka. Okay, so dapat ikaw rin ay flexible. So, be flexible. So, manatiling kalmado, i-adjust, mag-adjust sa mga different situations, gumamit ng tamang techniques at the right time, and syempre, you should stay focused. No? Bigyan ng atensyon yung paggalaw ng iyong partner or ng iyong kalaban. No? Pay attention to your partner's movements. So, syempre, pag nag-o-observe ka, alam mo kung paano ka mag-act. Alam mo kung paano siya iiwasan or lalabanan. So, think before you act. Okay? And last is practice with control. So, you should move slowly para maiwasan yung mga unnecessary force. And always i-prioritize ang safety during training. Next, we have cultural appreciation. So, understand and appreciate the cultural heritage of Arnis. Familiarize yourself with its history and the values it embodies. Regular practice, consistency is key. Regular practice is necessary to refine your skills and progress in Arnis. Set aside dedicated time for training. So, you should appreciate Arnis, no? So, pag-aralan, mag-research yung tungkol sa history and sa culture ng Arnis. And syempre, you should respect it as our national martial arts, no? Respect it as the national martial arts of the Philippines. And sabi dyan, I practice regularly. So, si practice, di ba siya yung reason kung bakit na-improve natin yung ating skills? So, dapat maging consistent tayo, no? Maging patient while we were learning. And syempre, we should show discipline. Okay? Sumunod sa instruction ni teachers, mag-practice ng may focus and respect. And syempre, keep learning. So, i-improve yung inyong techniques step by step. So, palaging always aim to become a better and safer player. Next ay etiquette. Follow proper etiquette when entering and leaving the training area, addressing instructors, and interacting with fellow practitioners. Next ay open-mindedness. Be open to learning from various sources. Different instructors and schools might have their unique approaches to Arnis. Embrace new perspectives. So sabi dyan ay we should practice good etiquette. So maging respectful pag tayo ay papasok at aalis or lalabas ng training area. So syempre magpakita ng respect sa mga teachers, sa classmates, sa mga instructors, and maging bukas tayo sa learning. So, makinig tayo sa mga different instructors, sa mga iba't ibang nagtuturo sa atin, and learn new techniques, no? So, matuto tayong tumanggap ng mga corrections para ma-improve yung ating skills. And syempre, show respect. So, treat everyone with kindness and fairness. So, practicein na yung pagkakaroon ng good sportsmanship at all times. And magkaroon ng positive attitude, no? Ikaw ay maging willing to learn, be willing to learn, and dapat willing ka din mag-improve every day. So, encourage natin and supportahan yung ating mga training partners. Okay, last ay self-control. So, practicing self-control is essential both in training and real-life situations. Arnis teaches discipline and restraint. So, sabi dyan, practice self-control, no? So, panatilihin natin na tayo ay laging kalmado at may control sa ating mga actions. So, wag natin gagamitin si Arnis para makasakit o para makapang-bully ng iba. So, be disciplined, no? So, palaging sundin yung mga instructions ni teachers or ng mga instructors. Palaging sundin yung rules during practice. So, syempre, you should use your Arnis responsibly. So, gamitin lamang yung skills sa Arnis kailan. So, maaaring self-defense o kaya naman for learning, no? So, we should respect others at all time. Hindi natin ginagamit yung ating skills, yung ating mga natutunan sa Arnis para makapanakit ng iba or para makapambuli ng iba. So, think before you